What is up, everyone? So in this video we're going to be going over the BEITONG KP40 intelligent gaming controller. This controller packs with many different features such as 1000 Hz pulling rate, TMR damping joysticks, optical access buttons, and many other cool features that I will go over in this video and show you how they work. So this is a controller that's compatible with PC, Switch, and you could use it with your phones. Not something that will work with your PlayStation. Beton is a well-known company with over 200 patents that's been around for past 28 years, and they have produced many different gaming pads and gaming peripherals. So checking their website here, and if we go to the products, we'll see that they do have many different gaming pads: the Zeus series, Asura series, Sparta series, Bat series. So they've been making controllers for some time. They also have some keyboards and mobile gaming pads. And I'll leave this link in the description where you guys could purchase this controller yourselves from Amazon. Right now it's priced at $69, and it comes with the ash white and the jade white. They are pretty similar colors, but as you can see, this is more white, and if you do the ash white, there's a little bit more grayish on there. All right, so let's get this thing unboxed. Beton, best-selling gaming controller in China. And here we have our detailed instruction manual. It's a lot of stuff, but I'm going to try to go over all of this stuff in this video so you guys don't have to read any of this stuff. And here we go. We have our controller. So at first glance, you know, it's not too heavy and it's not too light. It's just about right. Okay, we have our receiver with 1000 Hz pulling rate. And I think we should get a cable here. Yeah, in the bottom we have our cable here, USB-C. So the controller will come with TMR joysticks, and it has the damping adjustable joystick. So the way it works is if you spin this all the way here, you'll see that these joysticks have a lot of resistance now, and if you spin it the other way, they're going to get much looser. So this could be for precision aiming or racing games where you don't want to turn the sticks very easy, just to have some resistance, similar to the Control Freak's precision rings that you put on the joysticks. And these will be much more precise than the Hall Effect joysticks. Ideal for micro aiming in FPS games, racing games, and also action games. So moving along to our shoulder bumpers here and our triggers. So the triggers do have the switches. So these are TMR linear precision triggers. So you have the normal triggers here, and if you switch this up, you do get those instant triggers. And there's more customizations to this controller through the application, which I'm going to hook it up and we're going to check that out as well. You're also going to get the optical access tactical clicky buttons and the D-pad as well. So the D-pad is omnidirectional, meaning that it goes down, right, and there you could also click it here in between, and that goes all around. So that's basically gives you more response and accuracy than the basic 4 directions. And on the back we have our 2 programmable buttons, the M1 and the M2. And here's the connection if you choose to buy this with a stand. As we saw on the website, it comes with a stand, and this is where the stand would connect for it to charge. You have 4 options here to switch it from: the dongle, the Bluetooth to connect it to your Bluetooth devices, the NS for the Nintendo Switch, and the app is when you're using this controller with your phone with the application where you could customize this controller with. And this is the comparison with the general controller compared to the KP40. With the KP40, as mentioned, you get the fine-tuning TMR from 30 to 90 GFs, damping adjustments, and with the regular controllers, they're usually coming with carbon fill or Hall effect joysticks. You're going to get the TMR triggers, the A, B, X, and Y keypads, optical access buttons, the D-pad, the self-development, omnidirectional return center structure, pulling rate, as we mentioned, 1000, resolution 5400. So let's hook this up to the computer and see the different features that we could use with the website on this controller. When we first start the application and we hook up our controller, we're going to have the option to update it, which we should go ahead and do that. So now that our controller is updated, we could start using this application on it. So this app basically helps us use all the features of this controller, like mapping the buttons and so forth, and I'll show you guys. Application is very intuitive. It's built pretty nice. So here you check the joysticks, make sure the buttons are working. For the joystick curve, you want to keep it at default. If we have these other presets here, as you can see, it won't be as accurate. So we'll keep that as default. Here you could also adjust the dead zones, which right now it's set at 5% at default. So for the triggers, I like to keep them at 0 for a dead zone. So you could see the travel distance of the trigger. So for instance, if we adjust the dead zone, so you see this push is only gonna start activating it right here. So that's why I like to keep it at 0. So right when I push it, it activates it. Enhanced trigger responsiveness allows players to aim and shoot more quickly. So if you're playing for FPS game, you might want to keep this on. So basically there's no travel distance on here, but it just, as soon as you push it, it puts it to 100% input value. And if you go here, you have that travel distance. So you want to probably put this on if you're playing FPS games, so it activates right away. For racing games, you could keep it like this, because this will give you, this is kind of like a pedal for racing games. So you go slow and then fast. And then for the FPS games, this definitely should be on. On the button menu, this gives you the option to switch the buttons. So you could switch A into something else like a trigger or a Y. So if you put A into Y, let's do that. So now when we go here, when we push A, it's Y. So you have a lot of different options for that. Let's change it back. Here on the motion sensor option, you have the option to map your motion sensor to the buttons or the joysticks. I'm just going to keep this off. You also have vibration. So you guys, it vibrates right now. When I push this button, it vibrates much more. I usually turn off my vibration settings in my PlayStation, so I don't use vibration, but here you could adjust it to your liking. And now this is the cool options, I think. So you have the breathing, always on, max it. Let's go with the blue PlayStation 5 color, probably like this. Flashing when vibrating, on or off, you could also do that. So there, that's pretty awesome. Let's go back to the button layout, and if we go to the smart control, we could set up our buttons here. So for M1, I'll set it up as B, and M2, I'll set it up as A. So there we could do slide cancel. So the Gamepad Assistant application is very nice. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. It's very intuitive. Now one thing, if you don't want to get this application on your PC, you could also download the app on your phone. So on your phone, you'll be able to go and map your buttons and do pretty much everything you see on this application through the phone. Okay, so now let's hook this up to the gaming pad tester and see if we could check this controller out here. So we connected our controller. It's not reading it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have our controller here connected. Let's just test it all out. Let's do a circularity test. And you can see the circularity test is, you could basically say that it's perfect. It's very nice, actually. Just seeing that is just it's just amazing. From all the controllers that I've used and tested, just to see a 0.02 error, you don't see that much. So as far as the joysticks, this is probably the best joysticks in the game. As far as controllers, I love the damping method. I can't wait to try this controller out on some Warzone first-person shooter and see how the damping works while you're playing. Yeah, so the joysticks probably the best ones I've seen, and look, you can see how they snap really quick. So if you damp it, they come back a little bit slower compared to that one. This is the most loosest, and this is the harder one. So if you want to use the turbo button and you want to map this trigger to be turbo, you'll just push turbo and the trigger. And now when you push this down, as you can see, it's turbo. It's spamming it really quick. So this is a way that you could turn your semi-auto into an automatic. And do it again, and it goes back to normal. So guys, I'm going to test out the controller and jump into a game of Warzone on PC. And since this is the aiming analog stick, I'm going to crank this up all the way full, so there's some tension on here when I'm aiming. And this one, I'm going to crank it to the left. I'm going to make it as loose as possible because this is more for the movement. So let's check it out, and I'll let you guys know what I think. If this is your first time playing using controller on PC, you might want to go to controller and make sure that your aiming input is set on controller. Otherwise, your right analog stick will not work. It's a problem that I first had when running this controller. As with any new controller you start playing, there is some time that it takes to get used to it. So this is the stage it is. But as of now, I could see if I could play with this controller, I could get accustomed to it. It's not too bad. The joysticks are very responsive, I gotta say that. Triggers are pretty good. I wish they were a little bit more clicky triggers with short travel distance. Oh, there's my loadout, nice. Let's see how I do with my loadout guns. I need to turn the sensitivity down a little bit because just with this controller, it seems like it's much more sensitive. Okay, that's a little bit better. But overall, guys, for the price you're getting this, like what, like 60 bucks? It's not too bad. I mean, you do get a lot of features on this controller for $60. I just got sniped. So the bottom line, you do get a lot of different features for this controller for the $69 that you're paying. Now, if you're looking for a controller with 4 back paddles, there are different options. Now, with 2 back paddles, I'm not that big of a fan because I like to utilize all 4 paddles or 4 back buttons. As you can see with this one, you only have the 2, which is not ideal for me, but for some people I could see how that could be all right. The highlight of the controller is definitely the joysticks. They're very accurate. Now I had to drop down my sensitivity. I usually play in the PS5 at around 1.6. On this controller I had to drop it down to around 0.9 just because it was so accurate and so sensitive. Even though I had to damp down the sensitivity on the controller feature here, it took me some time to get used to it, but for this controller, 0.9 was right around perfect for me. I don't think you'll go wrong with this controller, and if you want to take it to the next level with macro customizations, you always have the application for that, where you could do a lot of different features and customizations to it. And you're getting this from a company that's been doing this for 28 years, so they know what they're doing, and they usually get pretty good reviews on gaming peripherals. Drop a comment what you guys think about this video or this controller. I'd love to hear it from you guys. Thanks for watching as usual. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.